So the process by us is that first of all, we could only use the front quarter. We don't use the hind quarter because the sciatic nerve is a really hard nerve to remove, and you have to be one of the most skilled slaughterers around. So what the rabbis they did is they outlawed, that you're not supposed to use. There are people still do it, but we generally don't use the back quarter of the animal. We only use the front half. And what happened is that besides for that, the animal can't have any like real injuries. That's why we blow through the lungs, and we check that there's no holes in it. And there's certain qualifications that require the animal to be kosher. It has to be healthy. That's general. It can't be sick. That's one of the main things.
Okay.
What happened is once we realize that the animal is healthy enough and everything, it's slaughtered. It's called by a shochet, somebody who's a rabbi who has the skills, the laws to slaughter animals. He has to check the animal, and he has to not to do a blessing, but he has to make a blessing. But he has to there's a misconception. People think that as long as you bless the animal, it's good. So it's not the way it works. So besides all the qualifications, the rabbi, the one who has to slaughter the animal, and he has to give one slit through the neck. That animal cannot suffer at all when you're doing that. And what they do is in order to drain the blood, they salt the animal. And what happens by default is that when you salt the animal, the kosher meat is generally much more salty than non-kosher meat. So that's something that we're playing with, because if I were to follow a general Central Texas rule, which is 50-50 salt to pepper, even though that's say what they do, I don't think they really do that. I think there's a little small thing they play with. But even Wayne Mueller, he uses like a 12-to-1 of pepper to salt. We're just constantly playing with our rubs. We don't want it to be over salty, but you still want to have the salt in there. And the hardest thing for us is that when we cure our own pastrami's in house, so getting that brine to go through but not being over salty, that's one of the hardest things we have to play with.
That is, yeah, that sounds like that would be really difficult. So until now, what should people know? Like, being a kosher restaurant too, there's a difference in a kosher kitchen as opposed to a regular kitchen.
Yeah, well, in our kitchen, there's no milk. It's only meat in our kitchen. We have to have somebody here on site who has to, because there's another thing is that you can't have any bugs in your food either in the vegetables. So we have to have somebody here who's monitoring you have to have someone Jewish who's monitoring all the other workers here. And also at night, we have another, besides the fact that we're much more expensive kosher meat, we have to have somebody here besides for the regular person who's here at night feeding the fires. We have to have a rabbi sort of who's here as well, monitoring, making sure that no one else is putting anything else or bringing any food in from the outside.